Flosstube. My name is Christine and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching in the Burrow, my little place here in YouTube world, all about my cross stitching. You can find me on Instagram as well at the same name, Stitching in the Burrow. Today is February 1st, 2025, and I am 2 days away from my second year of Flosstube, my Flosstube anniversary for year number 2. So this is a big thing for me. I didn't think I'd make it past video 1. So to be doing this 2 years later, that's a lot. So this is video number Flosstube 31. So I am back after probably about 3 weeks or so, if not a little bit more. I try to come back every 2 weeks, but it's not always possible. I have the best intentions, and every time I turn around, life happens. And so, I'm sneaking in today to get this done because I have the weekend off, because my granddaughter is turning 3. So we'll be heading out to her birthday party in a little bit. So I wanted to go ahead and take this time to catch you all up on my stitching and let you know about my anniversary, my plans, all of those good things. So before we get started, there is a Flosstuber, Cat Griffin, who has been so nice as to shout me out twice now in her videos, and thank you, Cat, for that. But I wanted to go ahead and give her a shout out as well. Cat is a lover of full cross stitch projects, just like me, full coverage. And so she has 2 of them that really have caught my eye that I'm following her on her channel about. And the one is the map of the Middle Earth. Really love that one. And then another one is the magic of books that she's just getting ready to start. If anybody's been around my channel, you know that I'm a lover of books. So anything book related, I'm all in. So Kat, I can't wait to see the progress you get to make on your full coverage project. Either one of those, plus all the other ones that you're doing. So thank you, Kat, again for the shout out. Let's go ahead and get started. This past month, I worked on a lot of projects that involved challenges that I am in. So I am part of the Wip Warriors categories every month. And they also have, my mind's drawn a complete blank. They started a new one, which is called, let's see if I can, oh, it's a scavenger hunt. And then also with Laura, with Stitching by the Shore, she also does I Spy. So I've been participating in those. And then as well as Full Coverage Fanatics, a Facebook group. They have some projects that I've been doing for years now. So I'm participating in those as well. So I didn't think I touched as many projects as I did, but I apparently stitched on quite a bit since I've seen you all. So I'm excited to show you everything that I've worked on. And then I also started a new project last night, but I'm not going to show that one yet because it's just a little small little dot that I started. Last night was a challenge to stitch because I was in one of those moods where I wanted to stitch all the things, but nothing came to mind and nothing interested me. And then I didn't want to do a new start, but I wanted to do a new start. And yeah, last night. So eventually I worked on a project, a whip that I already have. And then I also did a new start. So, and I worked on some crocheting for my daughter's blanket. I'm working on a blanket for a project called Project Linus. And they make blankets for individuals, for hospitals, and all kinds of situations. So a great, wonderful group here in Nashville. I'm sure they're all over the place, but I focus on the one here in Nashville. And so I'm crocheting. I have a ton of yarn, so I'm crocheting a blanket for them. And then my daughter wanted me to make her a crocheted bookmark, so I'm working on that as well. So those were just some of the things I worked on yesterday because I was done with work by 11 a.m., which was phenomenal for me. And so I wanted to do all the things. I think that's what gets to me on my days off is I want to touch all the things. I want to read. I want to do a puzzle, a cross stitch. I don't know if anybody else gets in those moods out there where they just want to do all the things and then have to settle on one thing. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So the first one that I worked on, this was part of the full coverage Fanatics group. They were doing a series about like the astronomical signs, whatever you call them, Libra, Capricorn, stuff like that. Um, I'm not big into all of that, but I do want to go ahead and focus on those challenges. So this one was for Capricorn, and I believe one of the prompts under it, one of the suggestions was something that was brown, or I think it was coffee related or something. And so I chose brown and coffee related. And this particular pattern is by Tilton Crafts, and it's called Coffee Time. And when it's done, it will look like this. And all of my projects are done on 18 count Aida, unless I tell you differently. And this one, I'm still working on some of it, but I did make some progress. All of this that's here, I believe, was the progress that I made. So as you can see, it's really nice. So you can see a lot of detail coming out in it so far. Doesn't have a lot done on it, but I'm trying this year to at least have one day where I touch every single one of my projects throughout the year. So I don't know if you all remember the calendar that I have. I keep track of my cross stitch in. I went through before the year began, and I put down on certain days all of my different projects. I went through one at a time, and so I have about 199 started. So you know, I spaced them out throughout the year, and then there's some projects that I do on the 25th of every month, the 13th of every month, rainy day projects, focus pieces. Those were not included in those times because they're already in there for certain times of the month. But I wanted to make sure that I did some stitching on each one of my pieces this year, because I know that, you know, years can go by and sometimes my pieces do not get the love and attention that they deserve. So I wanted to at least do that. So the next piece is, this was for a prompt for one of the scavenger hunt by Wip Warriors, and it had to do with the moon. So it was a project with the moon in it, and this one is perfect. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is one of my older projects that I started, originally started, and this is called Spirit of the Pack. This particular project is done on 14 count Aida, because that's what I had originally when I started. So and I actually worked up here. I usually work down here, but I actually worked up on the moon right now this time. So this is where this is. I can't wait to have this one done and framed. It'll have a nice blue mat on it and stuff. I already have it picked out the way that I want to frame it. It's just a matter of getting it done. So this one I think I started in like 2016, 2017. The next one is also my focus piece, one of my focus pieces for the year, has been for the past couple years. But this also filled a prompt off the scavenger hunt. It was about a window. That was the prompt. And then also, it's only in the month of January. The monthly magazine cross stitch group does Bringo. It's like a bingo, but it's Bringo. And it's only in January. And so you fill in your board with, I think it's 25 blocks. And then you could choose to have one project multiple times on there. I choose 25 different. This year it was like 25 prompts, so you had to pick something that went with those prompts. So this one actually fulfilled one of those prompts as well, so I kind of double dipped on that one. And this is by Heaven and Earth Design, and it's my quick stitch Anne of Green Gables. So this one had not been worked on. If you remember my last video, it hadn't been worked on, I think, since September, October last year. And so I thought, well, that would be great to get some stitching in on it. Like I said, it fulfilled 2 prompts, so I worked in this area here, getting all of this in and finishing this piece of the house. So here is where we are. And this one is also on a 14 count Aida. So I know there are, I've seen this, one other Flosstuber is working on this one as well. The next one, this one filled a prompt on Bringo. They said, you know, a new start that you have done. And so I had just recently started this one not too long ago, so I felt like it qualified. And this is a chart by Charting Creations called Be Still My Soul. I fell in love with this when I saw someone else who had completed it, and then they framed it in like a beachy kind of wood. I can't even explain what it looks like, but it just looked amazing, and I fell in love with it immediately. And so there's not a lot done on this. This also fulfills another for something else, so I'll be making more progress on this, but I did work down in here and get a lot of this in here. So yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, there's a lot in there, don't get me wrong, but there's not a lot completed yet. So this next one, it was part of the scavenger hunt for a dog, and it also fulfilled the prompt for I Spy for snow. So if you look closely in here, there is a dog right here by the fence, and of course there's snow. And this is by Charting Creations, and it's Kringle's Tree Farm. I absolutely love working on this project as well. This is a project that instead of going this way, I chose to go this way on it because I get tired of doing like skies and just all of this stuff that's up there. I want something that has more stuff happening in it. So I started down this way just to experiment, and I like it so far. So I think it worked well. So it ends right here. No farther down than what that is. So you can see how there's so much happening on this side versus just doing the sky. So I don't know if I'll continue down like that and working this way, or if I'll come back up here and just kind of do it both ways. I don't know. However it suits me, that's, I guess, how I'll do it. So this next one, I was still trying to catch up from the, no, I wasn't catching up. There's a group that has been going on for several years now. It was started by, I think it was one of the admins with Heaven and Earth Design. They created a small little group called the 12 Days of Hade. And it's like December 26th through January the 6th or 7th. And so there's 12 days in there. And so you can work on one project for 12 days. I have been working on the same series of projects that I have in that group for the last several years. I just leave it there, and then, you know, when it comes back around in 2025, I'll do it again. And so those projects get work on. Those 12 projects are worked on during that time period as well. And so this is one of them for that, the 12 Days of Hade, and this is called Wolf Maiden. And I'm working here around the wolf's head. I think I've got some of his ears done or what have you. I did work over here too, but I focused mainly this direction. So that's how much I have. This is not done all the way across yet, but that's just as far as I have. There's a lot of color changes in here, obviously, with so much detail and stuff going on. And it's a Haid, so you know usually there is a lot of confetti, a lot of color changes happening. So it takes a little bit longer to stitch. This next one, this is my every Friday project. My youngest granddaughter, who I'm going to see today, she loves meerkats, and I'm hoping that I can get this done for her. This is just, it was bought off of Etsy, and if you want to know the store, I can find it for you, but it's a meerkat. And so normally when you see it, there's just the blue here. I've actually started his ear, whatever's on the first page, worked up until the page kind of broke, and so I just have a little bit more on this page over here, trying to fill in the blue, and then I'll be able to move on to the next page for it. But that's where we're at right there. I was excited to do something, some other color blue. So, and I did not work on it yesterday, so that is something I will work on today to make up for that time. The next one fulfilled the prompt for the scavenger hunt. It had to do, that's the one that had to do with coffee. So I thought this one was perfect. It's called Cup of Cheer by Shannon Christine Designs. And this one is done on a piece of fabric by Bestitch Me Fabrics. It is an 18 count Aida called Space Rock. So this is what I have done. I actually did the, I had a little bit of the penguin's hat done, but I did all the face and everything on that since you've last seen it. I love Shannon Christine pattern, so I'm excited to be working on them. I have so many of them that have not been started yet. The next one fulfilled one of the 12 days of Haid, and also the scavenger hunt by Wip Warriors for the prompt for flowers. So again, I tried to double dip as much as I could this month to get, you know, things done. This has flowers on it. This is called A Fairy Wedding by Heaven and Earth Design. And I worked up here, I think it's on this little guy over here. So this is one of my older patterns too, from like 2016, 2017. This is done on a 14 count piece of Aida. All right. Can we see it all? Here we go. Okay. So it's not done all the way across yet. So I took a whole different approach to this one. I think, you know, I started getting into detail here and just took off instead of going back over here again. That's blue. It's, you know, boring while you're doing it. So, but again, I do force myself to, or encourage myself, let me say that, encourage myself to go ahead and work in various areas so that I am still keeping that part that I don't like to stitch as often. I'm keeping it, you know, making progress on it. The next one fulfilled an I Spy challenge for a king. And so the way I look at this is this has to do with Jesus, and he's King of Kings. So this is called Lion of Judah by Heaven and Earth Design. I worked over here more in this area here, trying to get some more done. Not much to see yet. It's a lot of background. So. But you can see how all these prompts help me to touch things and work on things that I had not worked on. This next one is one of, I wanted to say it was the first pattern that I ever received from Heaven and Art Design. I actually ordered it for them to print it out and everything, so it's not, it came electronically, but I didn't have it electronically. And I just fell in love with this one. She's also part of the 12 Days of Hade, but this also fit prompt number 5 for a scavenger hunt because it was a girl. And so, hey, Crazy Cat Chloe, that little girl, a girl, a female. I just love her. She's got so much going on there, and her big red glasses, and just, I love the color red, so I think that attracted me to it. This is done on a 14 count piece of Aida, and this is a big one. Make sure, yeah, I've got it right. That's part of her bun, which is, yeah, astronomical there. I'm working over here, which is actually part of the kitten's paw that's coming in down here, so yeah. This one is for my youngest daughter. So yeah, there's a, it's big. And I don't want to start it over. She's fine with it being that big. I'm okay with it being that big. All I know is you can really see the detail in that hair because it's so big. So this next one is a pattern that is my rainy day project, or any day when there's any type of precipitation, so snow or rain or what have you. This is my project. And this one also filled a prompt for categories. It was travel, so I used it as a voyage. So Turtle Voyage by Artecy Design. And I think, no, I worked on the turtle. I think I worked on this twice actually, and I think I worked just a little bit over here, but as you can see, I put more in on the turtle. This turtle looks amazing, y'all. I don't think I have much left of that page to go. I think I was trying to, yeah, I have a piece like this big left on the page, so that's almost another page done. It rained yesterday, so I need to go ahead and catch up on that. The next one filled a prompt for I Spy, and it was a prompt for the letter J. And although this is a beautiful Japanese garden, I put it as Japanese garden. This is by Cross Stitch Designs by Rena, Facebook. And I am doing this on a white piece of Aida, and realized afterward that the blue in the background is not part of the pattern. It's actually, I guess, done on blue fabric. So after I finish it, if I don't like the way it looks and I feel like it needs to have the blue in there, I think I will go back and just stitch in some blue. But I did all of her face, even the back stitching on her face. So we've got her right there. Excited. Plus I did a little bit of the cherry blossoms and stuff that are there. So this next one is my focus piece. It also fit the prompt for categories for vintage. And it fit I Spy for something you wish to complete this year. And y'all know that I've been trying to complete this one. I'm not saying I'm completing this year. I will just be working on it. And this is by the Cross Stitch Studio, and it's Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. So we got vintage Christmas going on. and it's definitely something I want to finish this year. I am down there on the bottom, so you can see this. But I am working down there, boy with his blue pajamas. Um, that is a lot. That blue. Um, it's not as bad as the cream color on cream color, because this is kind of a cream color fabric. It's not white, so it's not as bad as all this background that I've had to do that was cream color, but it is challenging. And then when you get here, this is going to be, yeah, another part that's challenging is all this white and stuff. So it takes a little bit longer for me to stitch on it. So I try to do part of it where, you know, it's the wall, doorway, or something darker, and then move my way back up to the pajamas and stuff. So yeah. This next one fulfilled prompt number, it was prompt for the scavenger hunt for a book, and it also fulfilled prompt for Bringo. I don't remember what that prompt was for Bringo, but I think it was like something you would do picnic or something like that. And of course, for me, it would be reading. So Life is an Open Book, New York by Heaven and Earth Designs. This one was hard for me to put down when I was stitching it. I am over here doing this area here, and it was, I really didn't want to put it down. I worked on it for quite a bit because I didn't want to put it down. So, let's see. Start here. That's that part. When I'm done, I'm going to come back over here and work on this area again. I just love all the detail in this. I think this is amazing. This one's so much fun to do because there is so much happening. So you can see I'm over here. Got a little bit more to go before the end. So. These patterns, though, being so big. And of course, it's an Amy Stewart pattern, so, you know, many of us love Amy Stewart. I think we love the colors. We love all the busyness going on. At least that's why I love them. So I think she's a great designer, artist. And the last one that I worked on, it fit the prompt for scavenger hunt. It was the prompt for cat, as well as the I Spy prompt, animal with a coat. So this one is by Heaven and Earth Design, and this is called Mini North American Mammals. And I know that Stacy, the 911 Stitcher, she is working on this. That's where I saw this one from. Stacy, you enable me a lot. Anyway, I'm working on this cat's ear right up here, just the inside of the ear. So, and so you can see, I believe I'm done all the way across on this one, so it goes this far. Unfortunately, I have more fabric that has to be cut off of it, but you can see where I'm at there with the ear that's happening right here. So that one was fun to work on. I haven't worked on that one in a while, so it was nice for me again to work on all these things that I have not had time to or didn't touch because I was working on other things. So that is all the stitching that I got done. Yeah, that was quite a bit when I thought that there wasn't too much going on. So, for my floss tube, let's shift gears for just a second here. For my floss tube anniversary, I'd like to do, I'm going to do some electronic patterns to be given away. And also, I think I want to create a little cozy stitching box. I'm big into yoga and all the comfort that comes with that. It's HYGGE. Look it up. It's your comfy, cozy, your sweaters, your hot chocolate, your coffee, the low lighting, just all the things that make you feel good. When I originally got back into stitching, I was stitching my niece, Ashley, the stitching penguin. She had started stitching with me, and my daughter, Jennifer, was also stitching. And so it was like 2018, 2019, somewhere around there, I think it was. And we had started a group called Hygge Circle. Um, so we would come over, they would come to my house and we would stitch. We'd stitch for like 3 or 4 hours, several times a week. So we'd be done around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Um, and so, but since then, Ashley has had 2 children. She's moved to Georgia to be with her mom, closer to her mom. And Jennifer is no longer stitching right now. She kind of go through seasons, and she's reading more and doing other things. So, it's just me stitching here by myself. But I loved that time that I had with them. And uh, I'd like to try to, there's a local group that's here that meets at my local stitching shop, the Country Cupboard, but it meets during the day on Thursdays. And with me working, I'm unable to do that. I know they have some other stitching groups that meet on the weekend, so if I could make that work, I might try to do that as well. So, I'd like to be around some other stitchers, fellow stitchers. I know sometimes there's some Zoom meetings, and I work a lot, so trying to do, Zoom meetups and stuff to stitch is not always, I'm not always able to do it, but I think about how great that would be if I could, so that I am making some stitching friends and just being in the community. So that's just something I would like to do. So for the giveaways, again, I'd like to choose 2 electronic patterns and 1 kind of cozy box. I know I kind of got derailed there for a second, but the box would be cross stitch related. So any item that's in it is going to be cross stitch related. So if you would like to enter that, I would hope that you all are subscribers. You don't say giveaway, all those things, be 18, etc. It's open to anyone. I don't have a problem with shipping things anywhere. So the patterns, since I do work with such full coverage pieces, the pattern choices can be from Heaven and Earth Design, the Cross Stitch Studio, Artecy Design, Stitch is So Beautiful, Charting Creations, and then, if anyone wants to look at some electronic patterns from Shannon Christine, that's also an option. And then, like I said, then there's the stitching box. So if you want to be entered into that, you can put down whatever companies, patterns that you like from the names that I've chosen, and I'll know that that's something you want to enter. And then if you want to be entered in the box, just write the word cozy. COZY, cozy. So I wanted to go ahead and just talk about some plans. I'm going to continue on with my full coverage Fanatics group, scavenger hunt for Wip Warriors, I Spy with Laura, my focus pieces for the 13th and the 25th of the month. Yeah, and just, whatever is the next project that I've listed in my calendar that I've listed out. So, yeah, if you want to hear a little bit about me, I'm going to just talk a little bit about myself and what's going on. I know that I don't do that very often, so if you all have a question about me, want to know something, please ask. I'm open and willing to answer. But just a couple things about me. Already, you know that I love Christmas. Um, I love vintage things. Uh, I love coverage, obviously, cross stitching. I love to crochet and knit. I'm not wonderful at either of those, but I do try. I was better at it when I was younger. I have sewn some. I would love to make a quilt, but that intimidates me, something fierce. So if I could be in a group with somebody who is beginning quilting, that would be great. I'd love to make some other things. Uh, I've got fabric. I have a sewing machine. I just have not picked it up and created. I have created pajamas before for my children when they were younger, but not so much as far as like a quilt or anything. So that might be something that I could try and dabble in. I know that there are some flosstubers who do work on quilts and stuff, and it just, I love seeing all that. I love seeing the color combinations they put together, the designs, etc. And maybe one day I will break out my sewing machine and surprise myself and do it. I think it's the perfectionistic part of me that wants to make sure that all the lines are just right. And so if they're off a little bit, or I don't know, name something, fill in the blank for the reason why. But I think that's what's keeping me from being able to start it, and also making sure I chose the right colors or what have you. So I have 3 adult children and 5 grandbabies. I have grandchildren ranging from 15, 13, 8, 5, and one that's going to be 3. Well, she'll be 3 tomorrow. So yeah, I have grandchildren. I've been married for 37 years. It'll be 38 this July. I'm a counselor. That's what I do for a living. Working on my PhD currently at the same time. So I already told you I love all things hygge related, Scandinavian type design, very simplistic. That's my goal, is to get everything in my home very simplistic, outside of books and cross stitch pieces, which have my heart. Everything else, I really, you could take it away tomorrow outside of my family. Materialistic pieces, and I'd be fine. Those 2 things that I'm really attracted to, I would want to stay. So I have 6 dogs. 3 of those are golden retrievers. I have a boxer, a pit, red-nosed pit, and a little dog that's a long-haired dachshund mixed with a Pekingese, and she thinks who she is. She is the small dog out of everyone. Everybody else is huge, but she's very prissy. I also have a cat, and I have a bearded dragon. So my most recent, my first golden is called Tucker. And he doesn't have any special reason why he's named Tucker other than he's Tucker. The other 2 Goldens that I purchased this last summer, they were supposed to be Luke and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. And I wound up with Lorelai, but Luke is not here. I have Maverick instead, because that's what my husband wanted, was Maverick. I'm like, it just doesn't, Lorelai and Maverick doesn't sound the same. But anyway, there's Lorelai and Maverick. My boxer, his name is Bruno for short, but he was named Bruno Mars after the singer. My pit, I had purchased him and a sibling, a sister of his, and unfortunately they had they had gotten out of my yard. They had gotten into someone's yard and anyway contracted parvo, and she passed. But they were both named Aang and Katara from the Last Airbender, the anime cartoon. So, and then the little one, she was my daughter's dog, and they named her Frankfurter because she's a hot dog, a dog. So we call her Frankie for short. But yeah, that's her. And then our cat, I don't know if anybody listens to Christian music, but there's a singer called Toby Mac, and the cat's name's actually Tobias, but we call him Toby Mac for short. And so then my bearded dragon is also, his name is Appa, and that is the flying buffalo looking animal that is in The Last Airbender as well. Hanging guitar was, that's that one as well. I don't like naming animals standard names like Rex and Spot, and I like different things. So yeah, those are my dogs. Those are my animals. Those are my odd little names for my critters that I love so much. So yeah, I don't know what else I could tell you about me other than I like to garden and I like to do homesteading things. So just a little bit, like I said, to get to know me some. So again, if you have any questions you want me to answer, please don't hesitate to drop them down in the comments. I appreciate each and every one of you who take the time out to comment on my videos. It means the world to me. I appreciate all of the individuals who subscribe to my videos and take the time to watch them. So I hope that you all have a wonderful stitching time and that you take care of yourself. Self-care is important. I know I say that to you every time, but self-care is an important part of taking care of you. So take the time to take care of you. And although I work a lot, and I know you all hear that, I do take time to take care of me. I read, I meditate, I exercise. I have had a couple little bit of setbacks with my health. I know that I'm struggling with some health issues, but you know, I was kind of rocking and rolling, all these changes, and then change is hard. And you know, there have been some setbacks. I'm not rocking and rolling as much as I was, but I am trying to get back on that and make sure that I'm moving in the right direction to take care of me. So I appreciate all the wonderful comments from you in regards to my health, and just the love and support that you show there for that. I really do appreciate that. But again, take care of you. Happy stitching to all of you, and I will be back here hopefully in 2 weeks, but as soon as I possibly can. Talk to you then.